Hello guys, it's about the box office here, and this is the newest week in the box office. So, yep, the number one movie of the week is Bullet Train. Bullet Train is currently at a loss of like $150 million, but I believe that Bullet Train, just like Elvis, will continue to make money over the next couple months because there's really nothing coming out. There's really nothing coming out, and you want to see here release schedule. Okay. There's Fall, Mac and Rita, Buys is expanding wide. Excuse me. Mac and Rita will make no money. Beast and Dragon Ball is coming out. But so bad Dragon Ball will make money for a couple weeks. Samaritan, that's on Amazon. The Invitation. Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul will make no money. Barbarian may make money. Clerks Free, which is a movie that no one's gonna watch. Silent Trends and Woman King might make some money. Avatar, that would be pretty hilarious if Avatar the highest goes to be because there's really nothing coming out. Don't Worry, Darling, that might not make that much money. Bros might be a sleeper hit movie. Bros might be a sleeper hit movie, but again, considering the content, I thought it was like a military movie, but it's a romance movie about, none of these movies are gonna really make any money, basically, until Wild Crocodile comes out. Okay, probably opens to like 20 million. Okay, which means none of these movies will probably open to like 20 million, maybe except for The Woman King or Barbarian. Okay, and Dragon Ball Superhero. Okay, Halloween will do pretty okay. Black Adam will do pretty okay. And then we have some old movies coming out at the end of the year. And some movies that have been canceled, basically. But the box office will be pretty slow for the next couple months. Because for some reason, Hollywood studios are afraid to release anything in August and September. And besides, of course, the first week of August. Because, of course, that's like considered the last week of the major summer window. Bullet Train I think will do pretty well over those weekends. I think it'll pass $100 million just like The Lost City did. And it'll probably make back its money just like The Lost City did over time. Next is DC League of Super Pets. Again, this movie is currently a box office failure. But again, there is nothing really coming out in the next 2 months. So this movie could technically, it could rig it out. But the movie dropped 64%, which is not as bad as other superhero movies. And it basically dropped your average for average blockbuster movie, which isn't too good because this movie already didn't open too great at the box office. Again, it really shows they're making movies that really nobody wants or nobody cares about when this movie is not making that much money. Again, this movie could rig it out, of course. This movie had a pretty okay second weekend for a blockbuster movie, but Super Pets only ended with 11 million. If we compare this to The Bad Guys, which is a movie I think people should be comparing it to, okay, how much did The Bad Guys decline at? Okay, The Bad Guys did better on the second weekend, but Bad Guys did the same as DC League of Super Pets. So that means there's a possibility this movie might perform like The Bad Guys. If it performs like The Bad Guys, this movie should be not in the red, basically, at the end of its box office lineup. Because The Bad Guys had extremely good rigs. Because after the second weekend, it had small drop after small drop after small drop. But we will have to wait to see if DC League of Super Pets can do well at the box office. DC League of Super Pets, again, a movie that really nobody is probably going to watch. As I expected. I was expecting this movie to flop, literally. Like, really, they're making a movie about superhero pets. Like, they're really running out of ideas. Okay. As well. Next is Nope, which it's not coming out until international box office until next week. So next week will be the release of Nope outside of America. Jordan Peele's movies don't really do too well outside of America, which would be a bad thing. Because Nope is not really doing too well. It's still like a loss of $70 million. It needs to make at least around $70 million international. It needs to make another around $20 million international. It'll probably make another like $15 to $20 million domestically because of the lack of new releases, major releases. and it'll probably make another 50 million. So this movie should make back its money at the end of the day. So nope. Dude will probably make back its money. Thor: Love and Thunder, again, a box office failure. Yeah, this movie has broken even. It has made $70 million for Disney, but this movie will still be making hundreds of millions of dollars for MCU standards. Every MCU movie makes hundreds of millions of dollars for Disney. Doctor Strange made $500 million for Disney, and Spider-Man No Way Home made a colossal $1 billion for Sony, and some money goes to Disney, unfortunately. But he had 3, box office failures last year. If you do the numbers, because I calculated all the numbers for the MCU movies last year. Only successful movie was No Way Home that has made money. Black Widow, if we include the Disney Plus numbers, would be at negative $2 million, which means it made back its money for Blu-ray and merchandise. That means that movie has technically made a profit for Blu-ray sales alone, and DVD sales, and digital sales, and Disney Plus, premium thing. Shang-Chi lost $20 million, which is pretty, much of the same as well. Shang-Chi was a pretty good movie, and Eternals lost $100 million for Disney, which is the biggest flop, I think, for Marvel in history, even beating the Hulk movie as well. But again, Black Widow did release during the pandemic, and Shang-Chi did release during the pandemic. Thor and Thunder has no excuse to do this badly compared to other Marvel movies. Okay. Next is Minions: The Rise of Gru. This movie has made more money than Thor, which is pretty hilarious. But this movie has an $8 million budget, $757 million. Yes, this movie didn't hit $1 billion like I was hoping for it to, but this movie has still made a huge chunk of money. It'll probably pass $800 million worldwide, and maybe even $850. But yeah, $1 billion I don't think is in the table anymore for Minions: Rise of Gru. But again, this movie has done pretty well, especially considering that they said, family movies can't make money anymore. There's no possible way, because Lightyear flopped. People know Lightyear was a complete pile of garbage. Oh yeah, Minions: Rise of Gru will flop as well. That's basically the reasoning. They were actually expecting this movie only open to $60 million, which I was like, no, it's not going to open to $60 million. You guys are stupid. Okay, they were saying $60 to $70 million like Sonic 2 opened to. Okay, but outperformed their expectations, and this movie is overperforming what they are expecting this movie to make. Okay, same with Top Gun. They expected Top Gun to bomb at the box office. Look at Rupert's article. And you know what's funny? They actually moved, and it's still funny they removed Sonic 2 from the list of flop list. And for that movie. So yeah. Top Gun Maverick, again, this movie has made $1.45 billion. I don't really think this movie will be topped. According to, the box office expert, Scott Mendelson, he said that Avatar 2 is guaranteed to pass Top Gun Maverick. Okay? I'm sorry, but Avatar 2 is not gonna be the same level of success as this movie. Okay? There is literally very little hype for Avatar: The Way of the Water outside of the Alita community. And Alita only made $400 million at the box office. The box office Overton window is shifting. Okay? The people are not going to watch Avatar 2. People didn't really like the first movie that much. The movie didn't really age well, is what I'm saying. The first Avatar didn't really age well. Which is a pretty bad problem for a sequel. If a movie it doesn't really age well, and they make a sequel to the movie because it made a huge chunk of money, and then the sequel bombs because people are like, really? Do we really need a sequel to this? And then no one watches it. Example is Matrix Resurrections. And Lightyear. Matrix Resurrections was expected to be a huge hit at the box office. A huge, humongous hit. Okay? Lightyear was expected to make $1 billion. And it only made $200 million. And to me, it's like saying, but the box office has been disappointed because, maybe you need to stop relying on these huge franchise movies like Lightyear. Like, nobody watched Lightyear. Okay? Avatar 2 is going to underperform expectations. It's going to underperform expectations since at the box office. Because a movie doesn't have to have competition to underperform. If people really just don't want to see a movie that badly, the movie is going to continue to underperform, quote-unquote, expectations. Doctor Strange did. There was no competition for like weeks and weeks. And then Top Gun came out and Doctor Strange basically became forgotten. Love and Thunder will continue not making money. They'll continue, dropping and dropping week after week as well. Okay. Avatar 2 is not gonna have the same rate as the first movie. It's gonna probably open to like 150 million or something like that, because there's still at least some base for this movie. But we know it'll drop like 60 to 70%. That's like your average movie. And then they'll probably end up making around $600 to $800 million worldwide. I think Avatar 2 might not even hit the $1 billion mark. Considering they're expecting Lightyear to make $1 billion. Yeah, that's not. Black Panther 2 might make $1 billion. But the reason Black Panther made so much money, it was released before Infinity War. Chadwick Boseman is a good actor. People like him. He's likable. People are not gonna watch the movie because they refuse to recast. Chadwick Boseman. People are angry at Marvel for using Chadwick Boseman's death, to promote Black Panther 2. Which is kind of scummy, and also it's not being released during the. It is not being released during the Black History Month, which I think that was another main seller of Black Panther, because, it's a movie about black culture releasing in Black History Month. Telling basically people of that culture to go watch the movie, because it's a movie that's about their culture. That Black Panther 2 is releasing during November, where it's going to be competing with Shazam, the Black Adam, which I think might be a moderate hit at the box office. Halloween Ends, which will be dead at the box office. And it'll also be releasing against the Amsterdam movie. Yeah, they're making an Amsterdam movie. And, yeah. Top Gun, I think it's going to continue to be the highest grossing movie of the year. It'll probably match $1.4 billion. Black Panther will probably hit $1 billion. But considering how Doctor Strange and Thor performed, I think it'll have a huge, gigantic opening, and then of course it'll end up making like $800 to $900 million, because they're expecting Doctor Strange was guaranteed to hit $1 billion as well. I compared Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness' performance to Batman vs Superman. Doctor Strange was performing like Batman vs Superman, a movie that had a huge opening but couldn't hit $1 billion. And now what's funny is that Jurassic World Dominion has passed that movie, Doctor Strange. It has passed it at the box office. So, yeah. Next is World of Crawdads saying this movie is doing pretty well at the box office. They'll release it on Blu-ray next month and digital soon. But this movie has done well enough at the box office that it has made money. Needed to make $60 million to break even, and it made $37 million. Which, it's sad that people won't see these non-franchise movies, but of course, over, movies like Thor and Thunder, I don't know if this movie might be a good movie, might not even be a good movie, but this movie will probably do extremely well. But yeah, I don't think turning this movie into a franchise is a good idea. Okay, it only made $13 million at the box office. The rest Hollywood will realize this. They make movies. They'll try and turn a new Tomb Raider movie into a franchise, even though that movie flopped, basically. Okay. Easter Sunday, I've never heard of this movie before. Literally never heard of this. But yeah, this is basically the box office performances you're going to be getting over the next 2 months. $5 to $10 million. Maybe sometimes they'll give $20 million opening. But yeah, this movie is not doing too well at the box office. Next is Elvis. Again, this movie has done extremely well over the box office lifetime. It has made $251 million, worldwide. This movie has made that much money. And this movie is a box office success. It needed to make around $212 million to break even. And now it's around nearly $40 million made for this movie. Next is The Black Phone. Again, this movie has made $100 million at the box office in terms of profits. So, this movie has done extremely well at the box office. Black Phone has been an extreme success. This movie has earned around $148 million worldwide, and this movie has done extremely well in terms of ratings. Okay, and now we have Jurassic World Dominion, which this movie made a similar amount of money towards yesterday because it released in Japan. And people are like, ooh, but Japan's not going to save this movie. Japan's not going to save this movie. And yeah, they haven't updated Japanese sales yet, but This movie opened to around 9 million in Japan, and now it made another so it made around $1 million worldwide. Yeah. Last time it was at last time it was at $949 million worldwide, which means this movie made another $21 million worldwide. Yep, this movie made another $21 million. Will it hit $1 billion? It has like 40-60 chance of. It has a 40%. It has like a 40-70 chance of hitting $1 billion. But it has done pretty well. It has been doing pretty well in Japan, and the remaining box office numbers as well. You know, Japan's numbers are saying it's only around 12 million, where that's updated on the third, which means they have not updated the revenue for Japan's box office. Yeah, but Jurassic World Dominion. Yeah, and they have not updated the numbers, but Jurassic World Dominion has done pretty well in Japan. It has done pretty well in Japan. I expect the movie to do extremely well. Yeah, I was like wondering, how is that movie called Easter Sunday? It's a real movie. It's always Easter Sunday on Easter. I think that movie would have done way better than, it did. But yeah, Jurassic World Dominion overtook Doctor Strange 2 at the box office, which means Jurassic World Dominion is the second highest grossing movie of the year. Which means Disney took another L again. Like they have been doing the whole year. Okay, right year losing $300 million. Barely broke. Took like 4 weeks to break even, which is really bad for Marvel. And international market, it's dropping like a rock internationally for Love and Thunder. It's dropping like a rock domestically and internationally as well, just like Doctor Strange did. So yeah. And yeah, that's about the same point as Fallen Kingdom at the same point and excluding China and Russia as well. So yeah, this movie is performing. If you exclude China and Russia, yeah, Japan, it has made $20 million at this weekend. So that means if it rigs out in Japan, I think that Jurassic World Dominion will make $1 billion. If it continues to rig out in Japan, like I predicted it to, but again, who knows at this point. So yeah, this is the new movie is of course Bullet Train. $62.5 billion global bow, which is pretty good for a non-franchise movie because Bullet Train is not based off a franchise. Besides, and if you want more movies like Bullet Train, you should go tell all of your friends and all the people who you know to go watch this movie. If you want more movies like The Lost City, more movies like Bullet Train, more movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once, and that's the same Marvel trash and like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and Thor: Love and Thunder. The same franchise movie bullcrap that they keep pouring out was all again like really bad reviews, but all the independent movies all have really good reviews, with the exception of Minions: The Rise of Gru and Top Gun: Maverick, which is why those movies have made huge chunks of money at the box office and had extremely good rigs at the box office. Okay, I bet it's because I think the Overton window is shifting. They're gonna make more Jurassic movies, just because Jurassic World Dominion is the end of the Jurassic World series. Which again, for a third film, technically it's a sixth film in a franchise. Okay. Yeah, and then Vengeance, again, it's no one is watching this. Basically, yeah, it was just a bunch of unknown actors too. Vengeance, literally, it's the new John Wick ripoff that no one's watching. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a John Wick ripoff and no one is watching it. Basically, Miss Harris Goes to Paris, really no one's watching that. It did make $8 million, which is pretty good for a non-franchise movie, for a independent non-franchise movie. Marshall to the Shoes On, which again, they were expecting this movie probably to make way more money than it did because every critic was recommending you to watch it. But again, nobody cares what the critics think. So yeah, this movie didn't do too well. Fast and Fury, a box office failure. Everything Everywhere All at Once also re-released in the theaters, but made the movie pass $100 million at the worldwide box office. Which means this movie is, I think, A24's first movie to hit $100 million at the box office. I think it is. It might not or may not, but it is the first movie. But I don't know why they re-released the movie in the theaters, considering the movie has done extremely well on digital, extremely well on streaming, and extremely well for a movie of its caliber on Blu-ray and DVD. Especially considering that, we live in a streaming era, sadly. But yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once is still holding its own against Downton Abbey, a new era. A movie that probably really sucks and woke Fantastic Beasts as well. Which I do not understand why people keep watching these terrible Fantastic Beasts movies. The only good one was the first one. Okay, I know Harry Potter, fanboys are going, it's the greatest movies because of Harry Potter. When not even those people went to go see it. That's sad. Okay, that's sad. Okay, nobody cares about Fantastic Beasts. Okay, but Everything Everywhere All at Once is doing pretty well on Blu-ray, especially considering it's a non-franchise movie. Those types of movies don't really make money on Blu-ray and DVD. They finally released the Beatles Get Back on Blu-ray. I don't know why they won't release the Mandalorian or the Marvel shows, but they'll release the Beatles Get Back on Blu-ray and DVD, which makes no sense. But, as well. And the Northman is doing pretty okay. Northman didn't really make that much money, but it still sold more copies than Turning Red ever did, which is funny. Bad Guys is doing pretty okay. Okay, I think Bad Guys should have some pretty good wigs, and Morbius, again, this movie has sold more copies than Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, a completely garbage movie, as well. And yeah, we also have the DD watch the home top, which Doctor Strange and Rocksteady did overtake Everything Everywhere All at Once because they finally released on Blu-ray and DVD. Which means, yes, Blu-ray and DVD do count towards this as well. Well, but yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once, the Bad Guys. And yes, Morbius was in the top 3. Imagine this was the top 3 the weekend before Doctor Strange and Rocksteady came out in Blu-ray and DVD. This was your top 3. But Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, really nobody cares about that movie. That movie's complete garbage. But, it's complete garbage. Dog, another movie. Northman. Dog, I've never seen Dog, but Sonic 2. Sonic 2 is going to have a massive increase next week. Because they're finally releasing it on Blu-ray. I don't know why it took them so long to release it on Blu-ray. The movie has been out on Paramount Plus for 2 months now. It has been on Paramount Plus for 2 months now. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. Wild City was actually a pretty good movie. It was definitely way better than Doctor Strange. It was definitely way better than... And yeah, Batman's a better movie than Doctor Strange. Batman's a better movie. Okay, overall, we want to talk about better movies. Batman is a way better movie. It just shows when DC, if they really want to, they can make a great movie. Like The Dark Knight, Batman, as well, Snack Snyder, Justice League. They can compete with Marvel. I don't know why they refuse to make good movies. They make movies like Wonder Woman 1984, which is mediocre, like Doctor Strange. Okay, they make movies like, Wonder Woman 1984 and Birds of Prey. But then you have movies like Joker, which, yeah, Joker 2 is going to be complete garbage because it's a musical. Maybe it might have some good moments to it, but it's a musical. It's not going to be that great, okay? But yeah, that's it about this video. Goodbye.